Because Trump is simply exploiting something that we've all known about politics. Half of it is performance. But what Donald Trump either doesn't get or doesn't care about is that the other half is governance. Right? When most politicians perform, it's a means to an end. You get the crowd on your side so that you can govern. Trump only wants to govern so that he can have the crowd on his side. And not believing anything really frees.
All that is absolutely true. Did you hear what he said? So Trevor Noah actually broke this down in such a great analysis, I feel like I have to expound upon this. He's sitting there saying that Trump is a good performance artist. He was saying to be presidential, basically, he's just be a stuck-up fucking asshole. And maybe that's him, you know, his impression of Obama. But Trevor Noah was saying that politicians understand that there's a means to an end. They are theatrical. They get in front of the cameras and they act a fool in order to get the people on their side so they can govern. But Trump doesn't give a fuck about governing. He just wants to keep that popularity on his side, keep his base all riled up. He's got a 30% approval rating, but I heard about half of those people, which are what, David Duke, what's that motherfucker, George Wallace. George Wallace got 13.5% of the vote. 10 million, I think it was 13.5% of the vote. So 13% of the vote are just rabid fucking racists. Now we know there's 13.5 people that are white supremacist, low-life pieces of shit. And that's important to know. That's 13%. Those are going to be your diehard Trumpists. So you got 30%. 13 of those 30% are your white supremacists. You might have some lukewarm, some moderates. But, you know, the over 1/3 of his core supporters are rabid, right-wing, white supremacist. Dave Chappelle called him the Malcolm X for white people. That's quite a statement, okay? Because, I mean, wouldn't white people need a Malcolm X too? It's actually an endorsement to compare him to Malcolm X. I don't look at him as the Malcolm X for white people. He's not my savior. Now, if he was a White Panther, now if he had been, you know, that Sinclair guy, I think it was Sinclair, but the White Panthers, which was an anti-racist group, pro-white, so you get to affirm your whiteness, but it was anti-racist, and it had, you know, a platform that said precisely what it was about. And but he's not, you know, he doesn't represent the, I guess, white left. He represents the white right, and that's, you know, the alt-right. But that's so for Dave Chappelle, does Dave Chappelle think that we're all fucking right-wing assholes? I don't know, but Trevor Noah's right. Trevor Noah's right. I think of like Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham, Rand Paul, a lot of people get in front of the camera, get the people on their side, and then they go into, you know, session and try to get, to stop the war or what, you know, legalize marijuana, what the fuck ever. So there was a means to an end where he just wants all the fucking credit, all the bluster, all the attention, all eyes on him. All the time. Whether he's doing shit or not doing shit, it don't fucking matter. If he ain't doing shit, then he'll just come up with some entertaining bullshit. One more thing. At that speech in Phoenix, and I don't see how anybody could be a goddamned, you know, just sitting there and listen to, he's using you as a prop. That was the whole fucking point. Go to a racist fucking Phoenix. He did this shit in, I want to say Kentucky or Cincinnati before. But he went to fucking, Texas. He did that gun thing, right? Then Florida. There was that Orlando shooting, and then he went to Texas. Because he knows there's a bunch of rabid right-wing gun fucking nuts that he could pepper into his crowd and look like he's this huge star. A Trump rally. So essentially he just gets a convention center and rents it out for the day, invites a bunch of people, gets his own security personnel. So this is, yeah, I guess in a way it is a movement. Whoever his security is, he owns that fucking building. During that time, he's allowed to be, you know, a fascist. He can attack, arrest, kick anybody out that he wants to. You know, you bought a ticket, you don't have to be there. Anyways, performance versus governance. It's just a good ass analysis by Trevor Noah. So he just wants the the theatrics, right? And actually, this is actually, an interesting point. Think about all those fucking theatrics that people do, and they get in your face, and you like them. A lot of, think of like Hollywood celebrities and shit. So they've been able to do this non-political stuff. They've been able to be in front of you, and you like them. Well, that's the same thing. You got the theatrics. You got the support of the people. You could actually turn that and, turn it into governance, turn it into policy, do something good with it. That's, Jennifer Aniston, Jennifer Lopez, Jennifer Lawrence, all Jennifers. Ashley Judd. I mean, there's a lot of fucking celebrities that have a lot of pull out there, right? Ashton Kutcher. So you got celebrities, all those followers, all those fans, those are votes, and those are volunteers that could go canvassing, knocking on doors. So anyways, I think that's a good analysis that he's a showman, but not a governor. He's a song and dance man. He's into, minstrel shows. He'll shuck and jive. He'll shuck and jive all goddamn day long. But is he making sure the business is afloat, or is he declaring bankruptcy? Is he, stopping the war like he said, or is he escalating it in Afghanistan and 30 places in Africa with all these shadow wars, and then trying to provoke North Korea to drop a nuke and all this other shit? Theatrics. He likes the theatrics. Is it for governing? I don't think it is. I think it's an ego thing. If you look at these speeches, it's just he gets in front of that podium and he's himself, right? That's who the fuck he is. And when somebody tells you, when somebody shows you who the fuck they are, believe them. Believe them. So anyways, good point, Trevor Noah. He is a showman. He's not a governor. And, what that does actually pisses me off, everybody. Think of all the showmen out there. How many fucking people, Seinfeld, and all these people got, the show, but they're not doing it for any fucking reason. Just money. Get more money in their pockets. To sell tickets. To sell advertisements. But not to give you and your kids universal health care, not to stop homelessness and poverty. No. So they can make a shit ton of money. That's what they're doing it for. The news is like that too. Profits. No. They're not trying to tell you. That's the reason why the Water Board and the Civil Service Commissioner has never been contested. They don't advertise these positions, so by the time it's, by the time you hear about the damn race, the people already turned their signatures in, and it's too late to get in. So they should have been saying, oh my God, this election's coming up. Right after the city council race here in Pueblo, we're going to have a bunch of county positions, the state representatives and the senators, and the state representatives in the U.S. House. So the state House and the state Senate and the U.S. House and the governor is going to be running. So there's one big election right now, and there's going to be another big election for Colorado next year. So Pueblo's got this city election, and then we got all those other elections coming up next year. So government, those government bodies, those city clerks, those county clerks, those secretary of states, and all the newspapers talk about that. Point it out. We should have a dozen candidates for every single one of these fucking positions. When the media covers this shit, they actually do a decent job. They get the message out there. But if they don't even fucking cover the damn thing, the theatrics, they got the theatrics, they just don't give a shit. That's what media needs. That's what the Young Turks needs. They need an agenda. That Justice Democrats, yeah, it's a little bit here and there, but it needs to be a major agenda. What are you making all that money for? Just a show? That's what I hate about a lot of these comedy shows. So, okay, Seth Meyers, should I, start working and building up a base? So, a base of organizers so that way this Trump shit can never fucking happen again? Or should I just click on, I bet Seth Meyers is going to be on anytime. I better, should I get to work on changing the world and making the world a better place? No, wait, hold on. I got to go watch Seth Meyers make fun of the president. So, I don't know, it's distracting, and you could sit there and watch people make fun of this shit all day, but what the fuck does that do? Does that help? I wonder if Jon Stewart, when he was in a position there, and that's not, I guess that's a hard question. How do you cash in? How do you cash in on your influence? Because Jon Stewart, he could say, okay, everybody, go out there and, protest your governor. Do it peacefully, do it politely, but we're going to have a bunch of Jon Stewart protests. What if nobody shows? What if nobody goes out there? And then maybe a couple people go out there, then he's actually got some power. He tried to do that, big rally for sanity or whatever, and he got some people out there, but essentially, I don't know how you turn in celebrity and cash it in, but the easiest way, run for office. Just put your hat in the ring, be the school board member. You have more influence on local positions than what you do national. That'd be amazing. I would absolutely, if Harrison Ford was a school board member, I did actually hear Clint Eastwood was like a mayor of a small town. That's fucking amazing. He made ice cream was legal again or something. I don't know, but there's some progressive shit that he actually passed. But that's awesome. You're a big celebrity, you got all this showmanship, and now you're bringing it to the school board. People pay attention, people will listen to you. And that's power. So, if anything, Trevor Noah, you're a showman. What are you doing all this shtick for? Are we going to vote for you? Are you going to be our next leader? And if you're not going to be our next leader, then who the fuck are we going to have? Hillary? I'm sure he was a two-party man. Just, he's trying to fit in, trying to assimilate. So, in short, I guess what I'm trying to say is that if you choose neutrality during periods of moral crisis, you've chosen the side of the oppressor. So if you've looked at this Antifa thing, and you've looked at this neo-Nazi thing, and you're like, you know what? I think both sides are wrong. So then you're mad at the man who punches the man, and then that man defending himself. You're so much fucking better. Huh? Somebody punches a man, that man punches that man back. So you being the good, fucking perfect moderate that you are, you looked at that situation like, punching him is wrong, and then punching him was wrong. It's all wrong. It's all wrong. Yeah, except for one person was fucking peaceful. The other motherfucker comes up out of nowhere. He's got a right to defend himself. Antifa is fucking justice. Fuck the fascist. The entire American armies fighting in World War II was Antifa. The slaves rebelling up against their slave masters is Antifa. Anywhere fascism exists, it should be nipped in the fucking bud. That's how Hitler got away with his bullshit. There's a frog in the boiling water. Slowly but surely, bam, now you got fucking Hitler. Nah, nip fascism right in the fucking bud. And what does that mean? It just means, excuse me, last rant, but the last thing, the cops. When the cops go around, what would be wrong with actually looking at the white nationalist groups, taking a look at all the white national groups that are out there, and then keep a track on them, keep an eye on them, go to the rallies, make sure they're not being fucking violent. Yeah, they got freedom of speech, protect them if you must, but have that skeptical fucking mindset. Know who you're fucking, protecting. Who are these people? Do they have guns? Are they carrying AKs? Is it holstered? No, that you gotta have some sort of, you can't just carry fucking AKs around all over the place. That's not how it works. You gotta have it holstered, because if it's not holstered, that's a fucking threat. Okay? So, you can have free speech, you can have your guns, but the fucking police should be on them motherfuckers. They're the ones that will stop them as soon as they say, you know what, fuck this bullshit, and then just take over the fucking city. Just take over the entire fucking city. A mob with a bunch of fucking AKs and shit is possible. I mean, they would lose in the long run. I don't know what they would gain by something like that, but the fact that it's fucking possible, once they take the power, then you got to get the National Guard and shit, right? And then later on, people will exonerate them with juries, and then elect them fucking mayor. They had gumption. He had gumption. He tried to take over the government, Like that Bundy, right? That Eamon Bundy. And actually a whole bunch of us. Hugo Chavez, Hitler, Mujica, Pepe Mujica. That Brazilian woman that got ousted. She was a communist revolutionary and then became president. So a lot of folks, Fidel Castro tried to overthrow the government, came back. I think he got elected. I heard actually like in the 90s, they had a different president and then Fidel became the president. It was like, maybe not the 90s, maybe late 70s or something. Anyways, I want the cops to be anti-fascist. Fascists are the fucking bullies. They're the fucking assholes, the heartless, soulless, piece of shit assholes that don't give a fuck about anybody. Mean mugging, posing, stature, what do they call that? Not virtue signaling, but just kind of being like a fucking wall, like a fucking scary, mean mugging asshole, shitty wall, like, just a cold-blooded piece of shit that don't say nothing to nobody, that just wants to control you, just wants to manipulate you, can't look you in the eye, can't treat you like a person, can't tell you a joke, can't share any stories with you because they just want to fucking control you. They just want to manipulate you. It's all they want to do. It's all they care about. So those fucking fascists are the reason why you get anti-fascist. Yeah? Maybe, there's a fucking gangster going around hurting people. Okay, you got to rise up to the occasion. You got to, put him in his place. But what if that gangster was created because he got roughed up by a fascist cop? Some fascist cop looked at him, misjudged the entire situation, didn't give a fuck. He's got the state power. He's got the authority. He's got the will to use violence upon him. And now this gangster, this good kid who got mixed in, basically forced to be put on the opposite side. Cop wants to beat you up and rough you up. There's assholes out here that think cops can do no fucking wrong. So that means he's going to get away with it. The system is going to fucking defend his brutality. They're not going to say like violence or rape or murder. None of that's wrong if a cop does it. Well, that's hypocrisy. And that's bullshit. It's not fair. And it's not the kind of society I want to live in. I want good cops. We need good cops. And if we don't have good cops, get rid of the cops. Because what's the point of having another fucking gang on the streets? Another corrupt fucking gang on the streets. That doesn't help anybody at all. So I got to look out for that gang, this gang. Red, blue, yellow, brown, white, black. I got to look for all these damn gangs. That's bullshit. So there are good and bad people, good and bad cops. What am I saying? How do we get the cops again? I want good cops. So the theatrics, they don't get elected. They're not part of the election process. So I want a fucking badass that isn't going to be manipulated. That's not going to be manhandled. That's going to speak up for their interests, and they're going to fucking get them. A good honest person's all right, but a good honest person with a strong will, that's what we need. That's what we need in all positions of authority. All positions of authority. So when you walk into a place, instead of someone just be like, yeah, what do you want? I was wanting to buy a pack of fucking gum. Isn't this a business? Is this a place of establishment? Don't you want customers come in, buy shit? Why would you treat people like that? Why would you treat people like that? I think it's just fascist fucking right-wing bullying assholes. They go around yelling at people, being mean to people, pushing people around, and that's how they get people to do what they want them to do. The bullies are okay. The bullies in life, they do all right. It's the bullied. It's the people that don't want to hurt anybody. The ones that just went along to get along. Those are the ones that have the issues in life. They never learned how to get, anything out of everybody. So they're powerless. They did what they were told, but they're fucking powerless. You didn't teach them any morality. You taught them nothing. You stripped them of their humanity and then imposed a shitty-ass replacement for, them to... It's like cutting off their legs or something, It's like... Anyways. Trevor Noah, thank you for that nice little thing there. Showmanship. So, cops don't have to be showmen at all, right? Just be fast. See, that's what I was trying to say. A good cop. What would a good cop look like then? Not a person going up there and be like, hey, I'm in charge. That shit in Walmart, I saw it. They came in, they yelled at what was going on, and then someone said, no, I don't want to do that. And then he just started swinging. And then somebody got shot and killed. A Christian family. And then the fucking atheist asshole was like, where was their God then? What the fuck did you just see? What the fuck did you just see? I just saw a good family, peaceful family, not harming, not hurting anybody. And a cop came in and escalated the situation, and now one of them's dead. Did that police department get their just desserts? Did anybody change them or they get fired? Did anybody get charged with a fucking murder? No, of course not. They had a badge on. So as soon as you put a badge on, that just makes you fucking good, all right? You're just good as soon as You could put a badge on Hitler and then all of a sudden he's good. Oh, wait a second. He did have badges and uniforms, and God, there's a lot of Nazis, huh? I guess just having a goddamn uniform, how can you tell the difference between a fucking Nazi? You know, what's the difference? Just having a uniform? Are you in favor of Nazis? No wonder there's so many fucking pro-Nazis. Everybody, oh, Hitler was a good man. What the fuck? You're pissing on the greatest American generation. You're pissing and shitting on the greatest American generation that stopped Hitler from taking over the fucking world. There was a Raw article, actually, that talked about all the shit that Hitler did, which I think I'll actually do that video next. So, showmanship versus governance. Good distinctions, Trevor Noah. Good distinctions.